And we are live here on Hot Tag Takes on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. I am your host, John BRECKO. With me is the man to my right in the producer's box, the bald-headed man himself, the bald-headed wonder. Ruben Rodriguez is here in the studio. How you feeling, man?
Man, feeling good. I'm feeling tired. I've been here for 14 hours today. So
why?
Well, let's see. We got a band coming in tomorrow. I had to edit a movie, had to edit an audiobook, and I had to do your damn show.
Yeah, man. That green screen is over here sitting pretty, doing absolutely nothing right now.
Exactly. Tomorrow will be action. Tomorrow will be action. Tomorrow will be action.
Yeah, man. When's the band coming in, man?
They will be here at 2:30 tomorrow, and we go live at 3 o'clock.
Right after I go into work.
Yeah, you can watch it if you want.
I'm gonna watch it from the pool, Ruben.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it while I got frosted tips going on.
Frosted tips and frosted flakes.
Right after I walk outside. Oh man, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? Just don't let you shoot the kids.
Ruben's starting already. All I did was have a nice conversation with my wife, and he told me to get a room.
Well,
listen, you ain't got to tell me.
Your wife was whispering sweet nothings of pipes and other stuff.
Just like you try to do during the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I whisper you sweet nothings.
I try not to tell her. I'll keep you as my dirty little secret while we're on the air.
Yeah, you know she didn't say I love you to me, but she said it to you.
Ain't nobody trying to say I love you to you. Ain't nobody ask you.
Why not? Why? You see, there's no love, fellas. You see that, Devin and Kyle? No love in the room.
They're sitting there laughing at you, bro.
There's no love
they're
in the room.
not laughing with you, Ruben.
No, they're laughing at you.
They might be, but I'll let it go. Because they graced us with their presence here today.
Yeah.
And they have
I thank you guys for your patience with this guy.
They have an awesome YouTube channel that I cannot wait to talk about. They do a great podcast on it called the Fan Connection Podcast.
Fan Connection.
They have a bunch of episodes that are wrestling based. I'm trying to get you guys a lot more wrestling content in the form of this show recently. You guys have been loving my shorts. Ruben, we just passed 6,500 subscribers.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about. See, we're getting there. Just like I said.
Yes, sir.
500 more. So subscribe, like, and share. We just need 500. 7,000. Yep, we're trying to get 10,000.
Trying to get anywhere between 10 and 15,000 by the end of the year. So, again, like Ruben said, make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the show. And we are here with wrestlers, podcasters,
and I'll just say, too, since
AWL, REX. Before I let Ruben speak, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Fan Connection!
Woo! What's up, guys? Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, I should be a fucking announcer.
That's right. I was going to say, make sure you guys also subscribe to our guests, Fan Connection, as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I already have.
If they're on Tickety Talk and what's that? Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, I assume, right? Okay, so all over the place. That's right. Get your Fan Connection.
Everywhere.
And if you want a burger connection, call John.
That's right.
Hey,
always.
On your limited edition Devin Steele AWL brand new merch, right?
Oh, okay. Get their merch at Fan Connection. All right.
100% get their merch. But you guys took me through the story of Fan Connection a little bit before we hopped on the air. And I think it would be a real shame if the people watching didn't hear the story of how the Fan Connection came together, because it involved you guys reconnecting also. You guys went to school together like you were talking to me about. So tell these guys that are watching a little bit about how you guys came up, how you guys met, how you guys reconnected, and eventually dove into wrestling yourselves and put this together.
Well, me and him, we've known each other for years. We've been friends for a while now. Like we had talked about a little bit about like on the bus about wanting to wrestle and stuff when we were kids. Like we're kids that like WWE, doesn't it, right?
Right.
So like we get to talking to each other, and then like we have all these big dreams and everything, right? So like then we graduate, we go down the road a little bit, and then like boom, here comes him, and he's like, hey man, like WrestleMania's coming around. So like we were like, well, I'll take off for that day if you take off for that day. We both took off, got it off and everything. We got together, watched WrestleMania. We were like, okay, well it's actually good again now. So like, what can we
Yeah.
do to like, how do we do something to give back to the people that maybe missed it or don't get to check on it all the time or whatever? So me and him just pretty much came up with the idea for the podcast. We were like, how are we going to do something that like gets back to the people?
Right.
And it brought us together too. Like
that's what a lot of everything we've done has kind of been founded on, is like wanting to contribute to pro wrestling, like somehow.
Right.
Like any shape, way, or form, we want to be able to give back to the people that like it too.
And so after like kind of going our separate ways, we just happened to run into one another, and we, like you said, we watched WrestleMania 40 together, and it kind of sparked our love for the sport again.
So
And we decided to give back.
So let me ask you guys this. How long were you guys out of wrestling for? Because there was a lot of people that kind of came back that were lapsed fans once Triple H took over. Not even just at WrestleMania 40, but as far back as 2022 when he started putting his fingerprints on it. I remember the first pay-per-view where he really started putting his fingerprints on it. It was SummerSlam. There was a lot of different debuts. Roman Reigns took on Brock Lesnar in the most cartoonish match I've ever seen in my life. The ring was almost upside down. There was a tractor involved. I saw some of the craziest shit I've seen in a wrestling ring in that match. Roman Reigns caught a mic. They still meme that to this day. But, that was the first pay-per-view that I remember, again, him putting his fingerprints on. How long were you guys out of wrestling before you eventually ended up coming back at WrestleMania 40?
So for me, we graduated in 2018, right?
Okay.
After I graduated, I kind of stopped watching wrestling for a little bit. I didn't get back into it until WrestleMania 40.
Right.
So it been some years, like I'd always loved it. I always like wanted to, knew I wanted to be a part of it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, like once I finally got back to it, once me and him both got back to it, it made it like, like, okay, now I know what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like now I know I'm going to try to jump on that and crawl for it no matter how hard I have to crawl. It's just going to be something that we're doing.
Yeah, so people might be upset with me a little bit for this, but I actually missed like majority of the Bloodline stuff. Like I didn't see
That sounds about right.
Like the union of the titles with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, or
man.
anything like that. I very shortly before WrestleMania 40, I was watching Raw and SmackDown up until it, but that was really where we come back in.
Yeah, so you didn't see most of Roman Reigns' title reign that went almost 4 years.
No, I definitely didn't see the majority of it.
Wow. I mean, here's the crazy part about it. If you would have told me 10 years ago that somebody would have held the WWE title for 4 years, I would have thought you were insane and you had to be locked up somewhere. Because the amount of shows that go on nowadays compared to the days where they did have 4, 5, 6, 7 year title reigns that actually happened, the amount of shows that happen and the amount of stuff that people film, there's just so much that's being put out there that people would get so bored of that long of a title reign. But they found so many different ways to keep it fresh. The beginning of the tribal chief character, Jey Uso, being controlled by Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso coming into the fold, them getting a 600-day tag team title reign in the midst of Roman's reign. You got Sami Zayn coming in after WrestleMania 38. You have all of those people falling out with Roman Reigns, except for Jimmy, at the end of that. You have Solo coming in 2022 when he got called up from NXT. There was just so many different things that happened during the time that Roman was champion, that it just kept everything fresh, and they found different ways to do that for so long that, you know, they found a way to just continue and continue and continue to make it interesting. And I don't think we're going to see anything like that for a long time, because again, people, you know, they want to see fresh faces, you know, become champ. They want to see new storylines. Like, I think everybody's excited for John Cena more than they have been in probably years and years, with everything that he's doing with his new heel run. And, you know, it's just crazy how long that they managed to keep that feeling fresh. I'm just sharing my 2 cents on that. But
in the Bloodline, you know, there's still more story they're trying to tell there in the modern day. So it's like it's still going strong.
Yeah, 100%. With the OG Bloodline, with the new Bloodline, I 100% agree. So
I love Solo's run.
I do want to talk about you guys diving into pro wrestling yourselves. We mentioned it a little bit about AWL, REX. You guys have had several matches yourselves. So talk to everybody here a little bit about you guys diving into wrestling, training if you guys want, and what you guys have put yourselves through. Because I've been in a locker room myself. I've worked a couple of events as a commentator, as a manager, you know, and I've seen in locker rooms what these guys and girls are going through. So talk to us a little bit about your guys' experience in wrestling and working the matches you guys have worked.
So my biggest experience, like, to me, I rep for REX and AWL, but like I'm around all the talent. I get to watch them learn and see what they're gonna do next. I get to hear what happens, like right there in front of everybody, right? Like it's a different experience when you're in there and you're like only watching and learning, right? And that's the position I'm in. Like I get to watch, I get to learn off him, I get to learn off all these other guys that are there, and like it's just it's kind of humbling for real. Like to be able to like just look around, know that so many people are trying so many different things, but they're all doing it for one simple character.
Right.
That's one of the craziest things you can do is like a human being is try to make yourself somebody else, right?
Yeah.
These guys do it like on the flip.
Right. What's the biggest thing that both of you guys have learned from your experiences? Like number one, if you had to pick something.
I've learned to really try to lighten up, like not try to take myself like so seriously, like because being rigid like that in the ring is not really the right way. So I've been trying really hard to like kind of step into like a lighter side, you know, like kind of show off more of my personality and like not be like shy or like embarrassed and things like that. So I've really been trying to step into that performer role.
So you talk about showing a lighter side. What would you say? I know it's only been a few matches, so you're probably still kind of fleshing this out. So if you don't have a real straight answer for this, I 100% understand. But what would you say your character has been, or what are you trying to make it, you know, throughout the matches that you've worked, if you want to share?
I'm really trying to be like this tough newcomer kind of.
Right.
Like I'm wanting to prove myself, you know, because I am a podcaster both outside of wrestling and in kayfabe.
Okay.
Like I'm a YouTuber, like a social media kind of guy.
Right.
But I'm really trying to try my hand at professional wrestling and like become one of the guys, you know?
Gotcha. I love that. 100%. You love to see it. You love to hear about it right here on HamiltonRadio.net. So I want to make sure that we also talk about wrestling while we're here. And a big thing that I wanted to make sure that I addressed on the show was the Slammies, because there's just so much to talk about. So many people are mentioned. So many moments are talked about as far as Slammy Awards are concerned. And for anybody who doesn't know, the Slammy started back in the 80s, And I think it started as like a CD or a concert. I'm not 100% sure on that, so I apologize. But it started back in the 80s, and it became a little bit of an award ceremony, kind of like the Grammys, rhymes with Slammies. Really corny, but it stuck around. But they give out a lot of different awards: female superstar of the year, male superstar of the year, most memorable entrance, oh my god moment of the year, faction of the year, tag team of the year, rivalry of the year, super NXT superstar of the year, match of the year, and WTF moment of the year. Also breakout star of the year and social star. So there's a lot of different awards that we have to talk about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run down the list, and we're going to talk about a lot of the different names, a lot of the different moments, because I haven't had a chance to talk about the Slammies with anyone yet. The past few weeks that we've been on the show, we've talked about the John Cena heel turn, the promos he's done, what things could look like for John Cena in the future as far as opponents, maybe factions, title reign, who knows. But we're going to start off in a little bit of a different light this time. And if we get to that, if we get to Raw and SmackDown, we 100% will. But this is where we're going to start the show today. So the first award that is up here, Female Superstar of the Year, ladies first. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Bayley, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, and Io Sky. So I'm just going to give my take on this first, and then you guys can 100% follow. So the names that I think of are Liv Morgan. That is, for me, I think, number one, just the way she's been able to hold the women's division down. She had a 7th-month reign as champion, took the title off of Becky Lynch before Becky Lynch stepped away to be a mom, and had an amazing feud with Rhea Ripley that probably, if we're being realistic, went on a little bit too long, and I would have loved to see Liv Morgan keep the title after that. But again, she held the division down. She was part of Dominic's heel turn. She took the Judgment Day away from Rhea Ripley, and just the story behind Liv Morgan and her revenge tour, I think, was the main attraction of the women's division this year. Rhea Ripley is number 2 for the exact same reason. She was the protagonist in that story because, you know, you have your face, you have your heel, and people were cheering for Rhea Ripley at the time. But another name that I want to bring up is Chelsea Green. I love the U.S. title reign of the first, last, oldest, youngest, longest, shortest reigning champion in history. And I love the match with Selena Vega this week. There's just so many jokes that I've been able to make on my channel recently about Chelsea Green, and I have been enjoying the shit out of it, and I've been enjoying Chelsea Green's title reign. The Secret Service stuff to me is gold. It's goofy in the best way possible, and again, I'm enjoying it. So feel free to give me your guys' takes. I want to hear what you guys think. Who do you guys think should be Female Superstar of the Year?
Me personally, bro, I have to say Liv Morgan, because like the Liv Morgan revenge tour, dude, that's just phenomenal storytelling right there.
Oh my
All
god!
the twists and turns we took all the way back, and we're just now barely back to Mania, and all this happened. You know what I mean? Like that, hands down, bro, has to be my number one.
Yeah. Before I let you go,
you guys.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I was gonna just say, I could see how you guys would pick Liv Morgan, but I've got to pick Nia Jax for one reason and for one reason only, because Royce Michaels hates her, and I find it hilarious.
I mean, dude, Nia Jax had the best year of her career. I'm actually not mad at that pick at all. She had an awesome women's title reign. She looked dominant. She won Queen of the Ring. And I had a lot of fun watching this Nia Jax.
I have a lot of fun watching Nia Jax, too.
She was a force in the women's division this year, 100%. Also, can we bring up Tiffany Stratton real quick? I feel like this might be a little bit of a one-note wonder because of the cash-in, but we were waiting for that for months, and oh my God, that cash-in paid off so well.
Honestly, Tiffany deserves the spot she's in right now.
Yes.
And I hope that Charlotte does not bury her like she did Asuka.
Yeah, me too, dude. That's what I'm hoping doesn't happen.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think she's going to win at Mania. I think what I would be okay with, actually, I would be okay with a little bit of a back and forth of the title, but Tiffany has to win in the end. Because I think this is just pure speculation, this is what's going to happen. You know, obviously John Cena is going to win his 17th World Championship reign. I could see them putting a woman to hit 18 and it being Charlotte Flair because she's already the closest one probably to that number.
I could definitely see it happening too, especially if the Nature Boy has any kind of say-so about it.
Listen. John Cena talked about us forgetting the name of Flair. How are we going to forget the name if the next Flair has 18?
Exactly.
He's already going off on John Cena on Twitter. We got to see this blood feud come to pass. People have been wanting one more Ric Flair match, one more heart attack in a professional wrestling ring.
God, I hope that never happens.
I hope that never happens either. I promise I'm kidding.
I love that he keeps kayfabe even being like 90.
You gotta love it, man. You love to see it. You love it when they keep kayfabe even though you know it's not real. It just gives it a little bit of an extra sense of appeal. But next, let's go on to Male Superstar of the Year. And the nominees we have for that are Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Gunther, CM Punk, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, and Seth Rollins. And I think everybody is a good choice except for Roman Reigns because he's here maybe about 7 times a year, and he can get away with it because of aura. But I don't think that should qualify him for Superstar of the Year. For me, it comes down to CM Punk, and it comes down to Drew McIntyre. And out of those two, I have to pick Drew McIntyre because just throughout the entire year, just him as an obnoxious heel has been gold from start to finish. He took CM Punk out at the Royal Rumble in 2024 and carried this man and carried this feud through his entire tricep injury. There were scenes that were violent. There were times that he trolled. And it was the best thing to watch and follow. Hell, the guy took a picture with Jack Perry. The guy that got CM Punk fired from AEW. And talked about crying them a river. Which he's still trying to get people to cry him a river, by the way. Let me just say that. But Drew McIntyre, everything he touched turned to gold this year. And I don't see how you pick anybody else. Mind you, all of these guys had great years. But for me, Drew McIntyre was just a cut above everybody.
Me, myself, I gotta say 4 letters, 1 word, and that's Geek. Jey Uso's taking that one, bro. He won the Royal Rumble, dude. He got the main event spot. Who's doing better than that?
Look at this man's shirt. Who else is he gonna pick?
Exactly, I got to, man. Like people can call me out if I don't do that.
Everybody, if they watch the show, they know that I'm a CM Punk guy.
Nothing wrong with that.
So I'm a biased man, but I'm willing to agree because I feel like you made a great case for Drew McIntyre, and he has done a lot to put people over and to really like help the WWE grow and everything. And he's not seen a lot in return, like opportunity wise or title reigns or anything really like that. So I would be glad to see him win a Slammy.
He's going to get something down the road, 100%. I feel like this is going to be the year that Drew McIntyre turns face, because at some point, if you turn everything to gold this much, people are gonna cheer for you, no matter how much you or the company wants you to be booed, and they're gonna have no choice. We're gonna get a John Cena versus Drew McIntyre match, and even if he doesn't win, we're gonna love it. And I'm excited for everything that he's going to do, but I don't know what's going to happen after Damian Priest, but I'm interested to see where everything goes. I kind of put a little bit of headcanon in my head, and I think I could see him teaming with Finn Balor after. I think I could see these two just being disgruntled by themselves because the Judgment Day fell apart. And I think these two are going to bond together, and they're going to tear the tag team division apart for a little bit, and people are going to start cheering for Drew because they want more from Drew. And I see it developing into something where, the face turn happens. Maybe John Cena and The Rock try to recruit Drew McIntyre, and he says no because it goes against what he's actually standing for, while Finn Balor wants to get ahead, and just something happens out of that. I'm spitting out headcanon now, but
Finn Balor deserves a lot of opportunities too.
Yes, 100%. But anyways, Drew McIntyre has my vote 100%. The next one is the most memorable entrance. So just for me, if I don't remember what happened during your entrance, it is not a choice. Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, I don't remember. Jey Uso on Raw on the Netflix debut with Travis Scott, that I do remember, but it's really just his normal entrance where he came out with rappers. So I don't know if I'm feeling that one. Plus, nobody remembers Travis Scott being in that entrance. We remember Travis Scott for punching Cody in the face and everybody losing their mind on the internet. Like no one's ever been punched in the face in a wrestling ring before. I'm just saying. Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, I don't remember. The Rock at WrestleMania, I do remember, and it's probably why I don't remember Roman Reigns' entrance. At the same time, The Rock, when he has a big entrance, he loves pyro. He loves fire shooting out. And I'm not mad at it, but I also don't see how it's different from a lot of his big entrances. The only thing that really changed is the theme song. I enjoy The Rock's entrances. I just don't know why it's on this list. Bayley at WrestleMania, don't remember. Randy Orton, WWE Bash in Berlin, don't remember. Seth Rollins at WrestleMania with the Philadelphia Mummers Band. I just thought that was a charity thing, to be honest with you. Sami Zayn in Montreal with Jey Uso. You gotta love a Sami Zayn and Jey Uso entrance, especially when Sami Zayn knows his handshakes. So I feel like that should absolutely be a choice. Sami Zayn at WrestleMania with Kevin Owens and Chad Gable. This got me hype. I'm not even gonna lie. All he did was talk to people, but I'm not mad at it. Logan Paul at SummerSlam with MGK. He came out with a rapper. That's nice. Dominic Mysterio with WWE Bad Blood with Liv Morgan in the Lowrider. This might win it for me. I'm not going to lie. I don't think that's a pick a lot of people are going to have. But anytime you can bring back the Lowrider, I feel like it deserves something. And then Drew McIntyre at WWE Clash at the Castle. I don't remember. So, for me, I think I'm going to pick the Lowrider because I really just enjoy the entrance. I enjoy the hydraulics. I loved it when Eddie Guerrero did it. And I feel like if anybody else is going to follow it up, especially as he continues, it's probably Dominic Mysterio. Eddie's real son, by the way. Let's just put that out there. I wanted a custody of Dominic ladder match, and it didn't happen. We got him in a shark cage, which was still fun, but we should have put a contract and we should have put custody out for him. You know,
Yeah, I wanted to
I
see that
wish
too.
we had that instead. But let me know
I
your
I
guys'
gotta give you
thoughts.
a little spoiler on it. It's not a prediction, but I think that I think Jay Uso and Travis Scott will probably take it because that broke it. Like I got on TikTok and Facebook like 2 weeks after that episode aired, and like dude, it was everywhere. It was everywhere.
Was it?
Like John Cena turning heel wasn't on my phone like that was. So
Hmm.
I got to vote for that. That's what I'm voting.
He does
I'm
have the
thinking,
shirt. He has to rep now.
I'm gonna pick Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40.
Tell me what happened because I don't remember.
There was like a whole choir and everything, and
Oh
Paul Heyman
yeah.
come out first, and like everything. It was just like a whole like full circle kind of moment.
No, I mean that is cool. Now that you made me remembered it, they sang for this man. I'm not mad at the pick, but you know, people played instruments for Seth Rollins and none of us picked Seth Rollins. So, that's going to be my take for that. But next one, oh my god, moment of the year. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns match finish at WrestleMania. Yo, tell me how The Undertaker made sense to come out. Every single other person made sense in the story, and then there was Undertaker. Hold on, go ahead.
Because Stone Cold didn't want to pull up, so Undertaker's like, I'll do it because
It,
it
it
would
was it
make
was
more sense.
it was supposed to be Stone Cold, but I'm just saying, you know, everybody else actually tied into the story, and then the Undertaker just shows up, and
The
everybody
only
loved
claim
it.
the Undertaker,
I'm not
the
complaining.
only,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
The only claim the Undertaker would really have to be in there is just that WrestleMania is his yard.
Yeah.
That's it.
that's fair. I 100% agree. But I'm just thinking about the story and just, you know, there's everybody and then there's the Undertaker. And I'm not necessarily mad at it. I'm not complaining. I enjoyed it. But there was the story, everybody involved that was covered in it, and then Undertaker just happened. And again, I will always be happy with a dead man appearance at WrestleMania, but I think that is something we should all talk about. So next one is Dominic Mysterio turning on Rhea Ripley with Liv Morgan at SummerSlam. You know it's an oh my god moment when you see it coming and people still lose their mind. So that is absolutely a good choice. Kevin Owens turning on Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes in October. Less of an oh my god moment than that one, but I was still surprised when he turned on Randy Orton when he did. New Day turning on Big E on Raw. People are still salty about it, and they will be salty for a long time until Big E comes back, which we don't even know if that'll actually happen. So we don't even know if we can turn the New Day face again. Power of positivity may be gone forever. They have ruined it all for life. That's probably not true. I'm probably, you know, being very dramatic, but I was very upset when that happened. Tiffany Stratton's Money in the Bank cash in on Nia Jax on SmackDown. I popped for that one. Damian Priest Money in the Bank cash in on Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. Gotta love Drew McIntyre just messing things up for himself. Did it all year long, never got away from it, and still managed to be over because of it. You know, this man lost about 75,000 matches to roll-ups, and we still love him. We've still enjoyed watching him on TV. Wyatt Six debut on Raw. I didn't even know Bo Dallas got injured soon after. And I feel like the fact that they just haven't been on TV and I didn't even know why, it kind of dulls the moment a little bit. Everybody else, let me know your thoughts in the comments because I didn't even know Bo Dallas was injured. And that dulled it for me. So if I was just out of the loop on that one, I apologize. But for me, that kind of dulls the moment. Braun Breaker spearing I Show Speed at the Royal Rumble. Braun Breaker showed I Show Speed some speed. Okay? Braun Breaker is fast as fuck, boy. Let's be real. He showed him some real speed. Yo, I thought this man had brain damage. I thought this man blew his brains out from a spear and a spot in a wrestling ring, the way this man crashed down on his head. I thought his afro was going to fall off into the crowd. This man got speared so hard into the ring. Like, I was genuinely concerned for this man in the shorts that WWE was putting out that I was gladly taking content from. I was enjoying this man's pain for many reasons, and it includes Braun Breaker's speed when he speared I Show Speed. Anyways, we've talked about speed too much. You guys might start thinking I'm on speed. Next one, Bronson Reed hitting a tsunami on Braun Strowman into a car. Yes, but I also feel like Bronson Reed hitting 6 tsunamis on Seth Rollins is a little bit more of an oh my God moment because this man was coughing up blood in the middle of the ring. That's my take. You guys can actually give me your take on this now if you want. That's what I feel like the bigger oh my God moment is with Bronson Reed. Which, mind you, by the way, why the hell is his cage dive not on this list? What are we doing?
That's what I'm saying.
That's a good answer.
Where's the tsunami from the top of War Games?
This
He
man
broke his ankle for this.
This man messed up one of his cankles for you, and you don't even give him acknowledgement. This man should have gotten so much acknowledgement from that we should throw up the ones right now.
I'll give him a 1.
I will give this man. This man joined the new bloodline and dove on top of a cage, and it's not even on this damn list.
For me, though, you got to think OMG, like what, from out of all those moments, at my TV, what had me the most shook up? And that's got to be the Y6 debut. So we heard of them coming in, right?
Right.
We're like, okay, they're going to go after some group like, American Made or LWO or something with a bunch of guys, right? Judgment Day, something like that. But that's not how they did it. They told a story in their debut that like a lot of people don't understand because they think that Bo Dallas is trying to rip off Bray Wyatt, right? See, there's things in there that I like 100% wholeheartedly enjoyed. Like him taking the little yeah thing that Luke Harper used to do. Dude, that's gold. I love him doing
Rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
And you put all these things together, and then like if you look at it, like the Wyatt Six and the Wyatt family, like compare them. You could actually compare them. They're different. There's not one thing that you can look at on the TV when you watch the debut and be like, dang, that screams brutality, right?
Yeah.
So I gotta stick with that one.
No, and I feel like that's fair. I just wish, that circumstances were different so we got more because I feel like we could have done so much and I didn't even know this injury was going on. And I feel like I would feel a little bit differently if I did. But at the same time, they went from being one of the hottest things on television. Jey Uso wanted no part of the Wyatt Six. He went yeet and then ran to the back. So this man has a shirt and is talking about the Wyatt Six very glowingly, and I feel like I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing this man flip-flop to both sides. I'm just saying. I'm messing with you, but...
No, it's just you gotta get entertained by it, bro, right? So like if you're not entertained, they're not doing their job right. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So like it had me to the point where I was like, okay, so a lot of people out there, like we have a podcast, so we gotta think about stuff like this, right? Like a lot of people out there are gonna just automatically assume that because Bray Wyatt passed away and this is his little brother, that's the reason he gets to do that. That's not the case.
No.
When Bo Dallas was running around doing that stupid crap, like believe he had a dream then to do that stuff. And if you think about it, the timeline, he would have wanted to do it before Bray got to do it. You see what I'm saying? So like him finally getting to actually do something that he loves, it's sad, really, really sad. His brother's the way he had to get to do it. But I mean, at the same time, he's living his fullest dream right now. Like that's something I want to do. So I I can go in and be like, you know, like that touches me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because like I feel it. I feel it.
I think I've got to pick the Royal Rumble spot with Braun Breaker and I Show Speed because I just love it when pro wrestling looks real. And I Show Speed had to learn that when you step in the ropes, it's not a game anymore.
So we're making our picks, but there are 3 more choices. I think we got off into a little bit of tangent with Bronson Reed, but there are 3 more choices. And then before we make our official picks, I want to talk about one moment that's not WWE related, but it's an oh my god moment in wrestling. So the other 3 choices are John Cena turning on Cody Rhodes at WWE Elimination Chamber. No surprise that's on this list. Roman Reigns returning at SummerSlam. No surprise the Roman Reigns moment is on this list. And Io Sky beating Rhea Ripley to become the Women's World Champion on Raw. I feel like that one has a little bit of recency bias. I kind of want to see where her title reign goes. But for me, no shot it's anything else. John Cena turning on Cody Rhodes at WWE Elimination Chamber because that's been weeks ago. And it's still breaking the internet to this day. That's a long time in internet time. So, for me, I can't pick anything else. There was a lot of great moments, a great one that we talked about. And by the way, I want to bring up an oh my god moment for AEW. I don't know if you guys follow it, but did you guys see that spot with Jon Moxley getting suplexed? You saw that?
Yeah, we've seen that.
Oh my god, that is the most gnarly thing I've ever seen.
Like, dude, me and him, we're willing to do some stupid stuff on the camera, right? But we're not doing nothing.
No, that
Oh
was
no,
gross.
no. I'm never doing that. No. Ruben, I'm gonna show you this spot so you can throw up your lunch. I just want to let you know.
It's not even wrestling, bro. Like, there's a line between like entertainment and like, dude, that's
Why does he like to torture himself like that? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, a lot of AEW stars like to torture themselves like that, and you know what? We all watch it. John Cena may be right. We might be the problem. Let's be real about it. You know, we all loved him putting a clueless kid on blast, and we all loved Jon Moxley going stabby stab on himself, rolling into a bed of nails. So I'm going to bring Ruben here on for this. I'm going to describe this spot to Ruben. And if you don't want to see it, I'm going to show you anyway. So I'm just telling you now. I will unconsensually show you this video.
What is it?
All right. So there's a guy named Jon Moxley. He wrestled a match against a guy named Adam Copeland. You might know him as Edge. Edge is in AEW these days.
Oh,
so they go wrestle a match for the AEW World Championship, and there's this spot where it involves a 2x4 with nails sticking out of it. Mm-hmm. Nails are protruding out of this 2x4.
Right.
Adam Copeland takes it. Hits. Well, this was kind of more the pretend hit because this is probably where you can really hurt somebody.
Of course.
But, you know, he kind of takes it and makes it look like he hits him in the stomach.
Okay.
Then for the next hit, the contact probably gets a little bit more severe because it's a little bit safer. Right. He hits him in the back next. You know, when you do it for the front, you could puncture an organ, you can puncture intestines. Let's not do that.
Right.
And then this is where the mind-blowing spot happens. He takes him up for a suplex, follows through with the suplex spot,
right,
onto the 2x4 with the nails sticking out of them.
Oh.
And this gets stuck in his back. It is literally in his back when he rolls over off of his back. It sticks there like it's fucking Velcro.
That hurts.
They had to pull a 2x4 with nails sticking out of this man's back on live television because obviously you can't wrestle with it because you land on your back again, it's going to turn into a fucking horror movie.
No, I'm going to tell you. I think I've seen ropes, chains, chairs, tables. I mean,
you've probably seen barbed wire.
No, I haven't seen barbed wire.
No,
No.
there was barbed wire at Elimination Chamber.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you because, I wouldn't think, actually, now that you brought it up, barbed wire, let alone with a 2x4 with a nail. I mean, I've seen 2x4s, but one with nails on it. I wouldn't even think they would.
I've seen one with. I've seen one with. Hold on. Before you finish that thought, I apologize. I have seen one with nails in it before, because I remember when Abyss had a 2x4 with nails in it named Janice. I still remember that to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you never really saw Abyss on camera use that a whole bunch. There was a really gory scene in TNA where
that's glory by itself.
Rob Van Dam was kind of covered in blood, like head to toe, and they made it look like Abyss was using Janice on Rob Van Dam, and he just kept bludgeoning him with it.
Damn.
But it was off camera.
Oh,
so you don't know what he actually did.
I mean, wow. I mean, that's.
But like this man got suplexed into a bed of nails.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
It was stuck to this man.
I was surprised that
you watched them pull it out on TV.
Yeah, I'm surprised they allow that actually in the arena. Nails, because somebody could really seriously get injured.
Tony Khan has enough money.
Yeah, but somebody, I mean, I know they know what they're getting into and all, but I think there should have been, like I said, I understand the tables, the chairs, stuff like that.
Why they put it on at 9:30 at night, Ruben?
Yeah.
When you put your kids to bed.
But yeah.
AEW is that put your kids to bed wrestling.
No, I understand that, but I'm talking about like, fatal injury. You know what I mean? Like say for instance, that nail could rupture.
Well, listen.
No, like you saying before, like it could rupture an eye accidentally.
What I'm gonna say is he rolled off.
No, I know that. What I'm saying is that you go in and swing and you accidentally, if you get that sweet spot, you can blind somebody for life.
You're not trying to go in back first and put your back into it, Ruben.
No, I'm talking about.
You're trying to put your back away.
I'm talking about accidents, though. I'm talking about accidents because nothing's 100%.
But I mean, here's the thing: you take one one wrong step doing so many things in a wrestling ring, and that can be the end of you.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have a 2x4 with a nail in it. I mean, God forbid you're swinging it, and you're going to go for the guy's back, and he turns around and bam-o right in the eye.
Here's what I'm gonna say to counter that. We talked about a 350-pound man diving off a cage, and I feel like that's just as dangerous.
No, yeah, it is. But you know what? But he knows what he's doing. But this is more.
So do the guys diving on the nails.
Well, if he's diving on nails, it's one thing. But I'm talking about somebody swinging at you with the nail. That's totally two different things.
I don't know. I'd rather.
And plus, when you're diving off the mat, you're diving from a cage onto a mat.
I'd rather somebody swing it at me than me actually have to land on it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if he did he do it intentionally or was it by accident?
No, this was intentional.
Oh, see, again.
I don't think it was intentional for it to stay in his back.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you did it intentionally, it's different. But I'm talking about accidentally.
No. That spot was intentional. Mm-hmm. I'm just not sure if it was planned to be in his back.
Yeah.
You guys were saying something.
I mean, he should win OMG Moment of the Year. That's just not going to be on there.
We're all talking about it.
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. They might as well bring a mace.
I'm sure that's happened.
Practically the same thing.
I'm sure that's happened.
Yeah.
Listen, I would rather somebody spray me with mace than have me land on
I'm not talking about the
nails.
can mace. I'm talking about the ball with a stick and has spikes all around it.
Oh. What kind of kinky shit are you into, Ruben?
It's nothing kinky. It's a medieval torture.
Nah, Ruben, you sound like you're into some weird shit right now.
John.
Ruben's talking about chains and shit. Then he's bringing up mace.
Mace.
Like, I can see his head sweating more and more as he keeps talking about this mace.
They always say the eye is always in the truth of the one that speaks.
Nah, man, I'm not into spikes like that. Not my thing. But anyways, I read the last 3 oh my god moments. If you guys remember, what was yours? Are you guys keeping yours the same?
Yeah, I gotta keep mine, dude.
I think I'll keep mine the same as well. The John Cena thing was absolutely groundbreaking, though. That's undeniable.
That's fair. 100%. I'm down for that. So, faction of the year: OG Bloodline, Judgment Day, New Bloodline, American Made, and Damage Control. I feel like this one comes down to the OG and New Bloodline. Like, I want to look at the other ones, but I don't think anybody likes where the Judgment Day is right now. I don't think most people like where American Made is right now, although I'm enjoying the legend El Americano or whatever is. I don't even remember this legend's name. But what? One more time.
Grande Americano.
Grande Americano. This man is a legend already. Like, insert this man.
Hey, look. So this episode ain't even dropped yet. We talked a little bit about him in this one. Like, he can't be Chad Gable, right? Give us your opinion.
No.
What do you think?
Of course he's not Chad Gable. Chad Gable was watching this man get pulled out of the arena by security. How could this man be Chad Gable? We saw it. It's not possible. There's no way it's
I don't
Chad
know
Gable.
what it is about this guy, but he's giving me a great feeling. El Grande Americano. I think he could be really big, man. He could be next.
Yeah, man. He's already a legend. Like, insert this man in a feud with the legend killer Randy Orton right now. We need to make this happen. I don't think this man can kill the legend of Grande Americano. He is the real American. Fuck Hulk Hogan and his stupid beer. El Grande Americano is where it's at.
Got him.
I'm 100% with it. But, you know, that might actually turn things around for American Made. You never know. And then also there is Damage Control, which it's just Io Sky and Dakota Kai now. So, you know, I don't care that much about what's going on with Damage Control. For me, it comes down to the OG and New Bloodline. And for me, it's the OG Bloodline because they came back together and they're all doing their thing now. And so is Sami Zayn when he comes back. So for me, it just has to be the OG Bloodline because of everything they did together and separately this year.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you too because I mean we got to look at who's going to be voting for these Slammies. That's none other than our favorite people, the iPad kids.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get them iPad kids voting on some stuff. What are they going to vote for?
Right.
It's obvious. You know what I mean? It's obvious.
I think I'll pick the New Bloodline just to give them a little bit of shine too, because I feel like they did an excellent job carrying everything and being who they needed to be going into Survivor Series.
I think what's disappointing for me about the New Bloodline is I just want to see Jacob Fatu come up.
Definitely.
That's how we are too, man. We're
Like-
all like, we want Jacob. You know what I mean? And then
Like-
they're over here like Tomatonga this and Tomatonga that.
Like, I feel like the main event feud that's going to happen throughout 2025 with the Bloodline is obviously going to be Jacob Fatu versus Tongaloa. I'm trolling, obviously, but, you know, I'm still, you know, people have been talking about Jey Uso's botches recently. Why aren't they bringing up Tongaloa at all? This man disappeared fast. Listen, this man disappeared faster than Jimmy Hoffa in the 70s, all right?
Remember he punched KO in the butt?
Yeah, he's great.
This man held a title wrong, okay? Like, what are we doing here? But, yeah, man, I want to see Jacob Fatu come up real bad because he's ready as is now. Like, I wouldn't have minded if he was in the Elimination Chamber, won, and then feuded with Cody Rhodes. I know it's too soon, but, like, there's part of me that wanted it.
He's definitely really cool.
100%. So, next one is Tag Team of the Year. We have DIY, Awesome Truth, A-Town Down Under, absolutely not. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, Motor City Machine Guns, The Bloodline, The War Raiders, The Judgment Day, The Street Profits, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Mind you guys, I do want to point this out. The last 4 of those are either tag team champions or were the last holders of the titles before this one, meaning the Judgment Day specifically. But for me, oh man, I feel like Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair had a storyline with Naomi that, took its sweet time to the point where it flew under the radar a little bit. And I feel like there was a lot of excitement around them. And I feel like, with Jade Cargill recently coming back, that's been able to kind of pick back up a little bit. And we've been able to kind of think about that. So for me, this was probably one of the tougher ones because I could pick the War Raiders. I could pick the Street Profits. I feel like Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez would be recency bias. I could pick the Bloodline. I could pick DIY. Part of me wants to pick Awesome Truth just because I want to see R-Truth get destroyed by John Cena. I want to see this man get destroyed by his childhood hero, the childhood hero he has had since he was -5 years old. Literally, do the math. That's how long it's been. This man was -5 when John Cena became his childhood hero. John Cena was playing college football, and actually, John Cena wasn't. No, wait, I'm trying to do the math on this now. Because this man is 5 years older than John Cena. But yeah, since he was -5 years old, I'm not about to confuse myself on the air. I want to see that. But again, there's so many teams that we could pick. I feel like because of the way this storyline has kind of just come back to light and hung in there, I feel like I have to pick Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, and I want to keep seeing their story. This is my opinion.
I mean, I have to probably pick. I gotta pick the Street Profits because if you think about their story, like tag team all year, they've been more relevant than everybody thinks because they're supposed to be #1 contenders. They got jumped, okay, so now they're gone for a while. Where's the Street Profits? Well, now they're back. They want their title shot. They still got to earn it. They get it. Now they have the titles. Like they said, they want the smoke. They got it.
Oh yeah,
they got all the smoke.
They got all the smoke. They got all the smoke from everybody. No, but again, this was one of the harder ones for me. So, what are your thoughts, man?
I'm thinking I'm going to pick the Judgment Day. Just because they've had their feet in a little bit of everything. You know, they've been doing just a little bit of everything this year. Maybe they've not had the best run on paper, but they've been really entertaining. And there's been like a lot of moments involving it.
Hell, they went from Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. Damian Priest on SmackDown now, and they're running straight off Liv Morgan and Raquel and Dawn. Like, they made the Judgment Day work.
A lot of influence this year.
Yeah, they made it work.
You know what? He's 100% right. And I got to respect the pick. So next one is Rivalry of the Year. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest and Finn Balor, Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton, and Bloodline versus Bloodline in one big circle jerk. So for me, I have to pick CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, especially because that feud was carried through almost the entire year when one man was injured for more than half of it. And none of these other feuds can say that they did that. So I feel like for me, this feud was easily the most entertaining, in spite of the circumstances that they had. Everybody else had great stories on here that I enjoyed seeing, that I enjoyed watching. But I feel like for me, this was the best one, not because of the performers and the circumstances, but in spite of the state of the performers and the circumstances. Like, I can't pick anything else. No shot.
I have to pick that one the same as you. Like, I can't pick nothing else because, like, me and him on the podcast for a while, we were talking about, dang, we need a stipulation in the match. Then we got the strap match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Then we get a
Hell in a
Cell match with them, and that was just a bloody match anyway. Like
it's an easy choice. That feud's got to be it.
Cause like that, I mean, but other than that, like I know Damian Priest and Finn Balor was one of the options on that. Right?
At least in my mind, it's an easy choice.
The heat is there, right? So like you got to keep that heat where it is.
Right. 100. Is this our first unanimous one, or did you pick Damian Priest and Finn Balor?
Oh no, we all chose the
same thing.
Okay. Okay. That's the first unanimous one we've all had. I'm impressed. Anyways, we got next NXT Superstar of the Year, Oba Femi, Roxanne Perez, Trick Williams, Ethan Page. I said Eakin. What the Julia and Kalani Jordan. For me, I got to pick Oba Femi. This man has just been a force of nature in NXT, TNA, everything he has done, being North American champion, winning the NXT championship almost immediately. I really believe it. I really believed it when this man said Trick Williams was only NXT champion because he let him be NXT champion. I am 100% in belief of that. And I think this man will be NXT champion for quite a while yet. And I've enjoyed his run. I've enjoyed this man being the force of nature that he is. And I want to see a lot more people fall from grace because of Oba Femi. Not to where Andre Chase has fallen. Just let me see that power bomb for about another year.
I'm gonna agree with you on Oba Femi because I just as the amount of waves he's made since he showed up, like he definitely caught my eye as soon as I saw him, and I love NXT superstars like that, where as soon as you look at them, you know like they're gonna be the next big thing.
Right.
And he definitely is going to be the next big thing one day.
Yeah. Hey, Oba Femi's good and all, but there's two things he hasn't done that somebody on this list has done this year, right, guys? Y'all both know. He has not been in an Elimination Chamber Royal Rumble. And guess who was? Roxanne Perez. So she is the NXT Superstar of the Year.
That's fair.
I got to call Roxanne on that.
That's a fair
choice.
That's a fair point. And there was a couple weeks where I was enjoying the stuff she was doing with Jordan Grace. So...
She also had a good little thing with Bailey, too, that I thought was kind of interesting.
Listen, I am trying to see a Roxanne Perez and Juggernaut feud on the main roster because that will just hit. Especially...
Yeah, that's good.
I loved the part where Jordan Grace was, everybody has a plan until pow! That punt, that was one of those punches, too, that looked like it absolutely hurt. Like, she got full-on knuckles to jaw. Like, you watched that, and it was just right here, right on the chin. It was beautiful. Anyways, next one, match of the year. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I think a very underrated match looking back at it. I just want to say that now. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. Dominic's heel turn while he was a heel kind of, carried that match. Let me just say that. Good match, but I'm just saying. Damian Priest versus Gunther at SummerSlam. Another underrated match that nobody's been talking about. Same with Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles at Backlash. 2025 Men's War Games match. Bronson Reed busted a cankle for that. We already talked about it. Sami Zayn versus Gunther at WrestleMania. Gunther versus Randy Orton at WWE Bash in Berlin. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk on the Raw Netflix premiere. So a lot of good choices to go through to the point where the main event at WrestleMania is probably on the bottom of this list for me because it was a big spot fest and tying all the storylines together. And it was enjoyable, don't get me wrong, but I think the quality of the matches on this list, that definitely puts it at the bottom for me. What I will say wins it for me is the Hell in a Cell match. It's everything that you want a Hell in a Cell to be. Like, there was a video that I posted, and there was a short where there was a reporter talking to CM Punk saying, Hell in a Cell match should just happen right now. And you could see CM Punk roll his eyes with it. And I even made the joke. I'm like, that's a sandwich without seasoning. We can't do that right away. You can't do sandwiches without seasoning. You got to build up to CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell. And we did, and it lived up to the hype. We talked about the strap match stipulation. That stipulation was genius, by the way, because it was brutal, and it was enough to still be able to take this feud seriously. And listen, these guys got a bracelet over for months. Like, we talk about the fact that they worked this.
Little bracelet. It's like $1 at the Dollar Tree. Literally, they had that over for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, these two grown ass men got a Dollar Tree bracelet over and fought over it for weeks, to the point where it was shoved down another man's throat, to the point where they had a spot where this man was coughing up blood. Like, I have never seen anybody make a bracelet so brutal in my life. And it was a whole bunch of different colors, too. It was pink, purple, it was light blue. We made this 50-cent multicolored bracelet look so brutal, and we enjoyed it. A lot of grown men enjoyed a 50-cent multicolored bracelet. I know I've said it a few times right now, but I'm trying to make sure that it sinks in for everybody. It was about 5 different colors. I only said 3, but it must have been about 7. I'm going to up the colors in the bracelet as we keep going through the show. Like, right now, it's at 11.5. All right? But CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre wins match of the year for me. And although there were a lot of great choices, that's the one I'm going with.
I almost want to say Rollins versus Punk on Raw, but I can't, because at the end, like, Rollins, like, they were meant to do the AEW spot where, like, John Moxley fell over his shoulders at the end, and they go for the GPS and fall for the pin. They botched the ending of it.
You sure that's not the Hell in a Cell match?
No, that's what I'm saying. I want to say that, but I can't, just because of the ending. If that was picture perfect, I'd have to call that. I just have to.
That was a good match, though. I'm not mad at that pick.
Like, dude, like we talked about before, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. It's not like they just pulled a Hell in a Cell match out their ass. All right, like you said, they built up to it. Like, we had the strap match. We had, like, not only the bracelet, but we had, like, weeks and weeks of promos. Like you said, CM Punk was injured. He couldn't even, like, really do anything, but the people were so invested. Like, every time Drew would come out to cut a promo, talk about the little bracelet that had 37 colors and everything, you know, like, every time they do that, the crowd ate that up, bro. They ate it up. So to me, that has to be a pick.
Can we talk about the moment where CM Punk was carried out by Drew McIntyre when he was still injured, dropped this man with blood coming out of his head and mouth on the ramp? He didn't even actually do anything to this man, and we enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that match really was great. The Hell in a Cell match, like, you can't ask for anything more, really. But I think I'm gonna pick the one nobody's gonna talk about, and that's AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes at Backlash.
I agree. That was very underrated.
Because that match, I mean, was just absolutely amazing. And we got to acknowledge the AJ Styles fake retirement.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
He pulled a Mark Henry. He straight pulled a Mark Henry.
I just really enjoyed that one, me personally.
He did. He pulled so much of a Mark Henry that Mark Henry talked about how he pulled a Mark Henry because he couldn't help himself.
Yeah, Mark Henry had to be like, dang, bro, he did it better than me almost.
No, he did. He did an awesome job with that. And I enjoyed that fake retirement so much. Even going back and watching it and having people spoil it for me, I still enjoyed watching it. Anyways, the next one, WTF moment of the year. R-Truth calls Triple H Ciampa. We act like that hasn't happened before. Kevin Owens car interviews. There's so many things that Kevin Owens could have done that should be on this list. Chelsea Green goes into the dumpster. What about the Secret Service? Dominic Mysterio in the shark cage. That's 100% fair. I show speed with Logan Paul at WrestleMania. Why don't we talk about the look on his face after he got speared? LA Knight in Logan Paul's pool. Fair because he peed in it. I'm 100% convinced. R-Truth wrestles with John Cena. Man's been his childhood hero since he was -5. That's also fair. Rabid noises from Tama Tonga. Yes. Jacob Fatu. I love you Solo. Yes. The Wyatt 6 debut. Oh man. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with LA Knight peeing in Logan Paul's pool. I'm going to add that into the WTF moment because we know he did. That's my choice.
I gotta go with I Love You Solo because I mean that dude, that I literally laughed at that. Like as soon as he said he's like I love you Solo, I was like, dude, I was weak. And then I found out that that's gonna be something he incorporates and does like every week. I was like, bro, I love that.
I agree because immediately, as soon as I Love You Solo come out of his mouth, it was over.
Yeah, it was over.
And it had a lot of influence going forward, something that's still not really gone away.
You know, here's the thing with me. Jacob Fatu's promos, I mean, people are just starting to find out how good his promos are. But, like, look back and see some of the times that he came out with Solo and said more than that. Like, his promos are straight fire. Jacob Fatu is so good on the mic, and nobody even knows it because this is a huge man doing backflips in the ring. So it causes nobody to even think about it. And we should. 100%. Because I love seeing Jacob Fatu get on the mic. Anyways, I only heard one pick. Did we say the other?
We both agreed for the I Love You Solo.
Okay, that's fair. So we have Social Star of the Year. The only two choices, Chelsea Green and Drew McIntyre. For me, I would have to say Drew McIntyre for reasons that we have already talked about, mostly involving CM Punk. I want to say Chelsea Green, but I think the work she's doing in the ring is so good that she's not going to leave without an award as far as where my votes are at.
I agree with Drew.
Yeah, he's actually right because like why wouldn't they? You know what I'm saying? Because we just got to the point with the security team or whatever. It's more like we still have so much to see with that. Drew McIntyre, he's working on 4 different people he's got beef with right now. So like it got to be him, bro.
5 if you count Jack Perry.
That is true. So
he acknowledged that this man is a scapegoat, a lot like himself. And this is without real glass. Anyways, we're all in agreement on Drew McIntyre. I want to count that one being the second one. We're all in agreement, but there was only 2 choices. So I'm not going to do that because that's lame. Anyways, the last one, Breakout Superstar of the Year. I kind of already spoiled my pick for this. Braun Breaker, yes, had a very good year. I acknowledge that. Lyra Valkyria, I'm not feeling it. I feel like there's nothing to really her character. I feel like people go woo a lot when she enters the ring. She puts on good matches, but I want to see them develop her as a character. Penta I've been enjoying, but I feel like he just got there. Obafemi. Obafemi's had a very good year and absolutely deserves to be on this list. Julia, that's an NXT talent, right? Because I don't follow NXT as much.
Yeah.
If anybody has anything to say about Julia being on here, feel free. But until then, I'm going to go on the list. Tiffany Stratton had an awesome year. We loved her cash-in. Stephanie Vaquer is a double champ right now. She deserves to be on this list just for that. Kind of the same thing as Penta. She just got there, but I think she's made much more of an impact. Jacob Fatu, probably number 2 for me. And then my pick is Chelsea Green. If anybody picks Jacob Fatu, I understand. But I feel like Chelsea Green and her U.S. title reign has been gold. And I feel like people should know more about Chelsea Green than we've known so far. And yeah, man, I'm glad she got to break out and get this U.S. title because people are finding out about Chelsea Green, and you love to see it.
My two's got to be Braun Breaker or Jacob Fatu, just because
Okay.
like Braun Breaker, he's went and won the title, lost it, won it back, and he's not dropping it to nobody anytime soon. So my first pick got to be Braun, and if not Braun, then Jacob.
See, I felt like he was gonna drop it at Mania. I was like, if he drops it to Finn Balor, I'm not even going to be mad because Finn Balor's going to be an IC champ, and you can just have Braun win King of the Ring and move up on the card.
Right.
For real.
That's
Hands
what I would
down.
love to see, but they're doing a 4-way match, so that's not going to happen.
Hands down for me, I've got to pick Braun Breaker because in my mind, there's nobody who's shown up on the main roster and like understood it as fast as he did. I mean, he got there, and I mean, within 5 months, he was a mid-card champion, and he's torn through everybody. I mean, built up such a character, and now he barely has to do anything. He's a lot like Roman Reigns. He hadn't wrestled in I mean, he was on last Raw.
This man compared Braun Breaker to the Tribal Chief. That's a hot take.
He reminds me a lot of the big dog. Yeah. Like Shield Roman Reigns.
That's because he is a big dog. The dogs are barking.
He'll always be barking as long as he's coming out.
But he is 100% sure, like somebody who's going to be there in the future, like a face.
All I'm trying to say to your hot take is I see the dogs barking for Braun Breaker, and I see them, and I raise you them barking for Obafemi without them having to say anything during his promos. They just do it. So I think Braun Breaker has had a very good year, but I think when you talk about people breaking out and people finding out about a certain talent or a certain superstar, I feel like people found out the most about Chelsea Green with her U.S. title reign. It is the shortest, longest, fastest, slowest title reign of all time. So I feel like it has to be Chelsea Green for me. I love the Braun Breaker pick, but that's where I'm at with it. So I had Ruben tell me I'm 10 minutes over like an asshole, and we finally have gotten through all of the Slammies. I told you we had enough for at least an hour. So I do want to say this.
I didn't call him an asshole. I just said
I love following your guys' channel. I love seeing you and the rest of the people that have been watching my shorts interact with my channel. And I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I hope all of you watching have been enjoying it. I want to say absolutely like, comment, share, subscribe to all these guys' videos. They are awesome. I love hearing them talk about wrestling. I love some of their takes today. And make sure you guys subscribe to our channel as well. Again, we've just passed 6,500 subscribers. Help us get to 7K by the end of April, which we are more than on track to do right now. And once again, before we go, thank you guys 100% for coming on the show tonight. 100% appreciate it. Would love to have you back on sometime. I enjoyed you guys coming.
Thank you for having us. Guys, let us know if you want us to come back.
Yeah, FTC for life will be here for y'all, man.
I might end up doing it anyway, to be honest with y'all. Just so anybody watching knows. But again, this has been Hot Tag Takes here with the Fan Connection. My name's John BRECKO. In the box is Ruben Rodriguez. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next week. Make sure you guys tune in on Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Deuces.
Ooh,